Hi folks, John here from Western Sydney Aquarium Plants. This moss right here is the Cameroon moss. As the name suggests, it comes from the Cameroon. Now we grow the moss a little bit different to the way we grow Java moss. With Java moss, we grow it over peat moss, but this plant right here, it doesn't like a really acidic environment. It doesn't like it if there's too much fertilizer in the substrate. So what we do is we grow it over rocks, and we add dechlorinated, or you could say distilled water. So what we do is we chuck them on like this, and then we add root tabs that are specifically designed for growing aquatic mosses. So you know, it's root tabs that are quite gentle. They don't have a lot of harmful or you know, acidic fertilizer components. And then what we do is we just put a lid on this and leave it out in the shade. And in 6 months, this whole tub will be filled with Cameroon moss. So here's just a bit of perspective on the size of the actual tub. Now the same thing applies with Christmas moss. So if you're growing Christmas moss, that's Christmas moss. Again, prefers a sterile environment, so you can't use soil. You can try to use peat moss, but again, it might be too acidic, based on, you know, the failures I've had, where I've tried all those things and the moss just didn't look great after 6 months. And then, you know, once you've got it in here, you've got the right root tab in here, what the moss will do, it'll soak up all the nutrients and then fill out this box over 6 months. The only thing you have to do is you need to get yourself a mister like this. Okay, fill this up with dechlorinated water or distilled water, and you give it a good spray once every 2 weeks. The fertilizer that's in here will last for about 6 months, and you don't need to put too much fertilizer. Moss tend to grow very slowly. They don't really need a lot of fertilizer. If you want to add, you know, nutrients, you can just take your tank water. Your tank water is filled with nitrates and ammonia that the moss will use to grow, and that's gentle enough for the moss. So if you're not going to use fertilizer, you can use tank water. Okay, very simple, folks, if you want to grow moss in your backyard. But just make sure that you're growing it in the winter months and not in the summer months, purely because if the temperature goes above 28 degrees, the moss will start to die. There you go.